What's happening out there, my friends in YouTube land? This is yours truly, Rockin' Dave, the real deal. North from Myers, Southwest Florida. And Santa did a circle back, my friends. And he says, hey, we got something for you. So this, we just picked up today. We had to pick up some extra cables for our speakers, because tomorrow, for New Year's Eve, our gig for tomorrow night, we're going to bring out the 12s, and we're going to bring out the 12-inch QSCs and the 8-inch QSC for the monitor. But the monitor is going to be further up, so we need to get an extra longer cable for that. And that whole process, I was looking at a couple of guitars. I really wasn't going to too much buy anything, but I was doing some research on, you know, a couple of jazz hollow body guitars, and I did run across, and I've seen this video before, on a Ibanez 7-string hollow body, full hollow body jazz guitar, and it's a shorter scale, but the depth it had was just, you know, and even though it's only 7 strings, you know, it still had a really nice depth. So when we were at Guitar Center today, I was just checking out a few things while Deb was looking at some of the extra cables, because I needed to get some strings, some more picks, and some cables and that. And I did try the Squier Catalina baritone guitar, and it had the baritone strings on, but someone tuned it to E standard, and the tension was real tight. It wasn't hard for me to play, but I didn't really have a tuner, and someone had let it sit in E standard with that high tension. So I'm like, you know what, I'm not even gonna mess with this. And then I seen this, and it had a broken high E string, and I thought, oh, let me check this out. And I didn't even plug it in, and I could feel against my body. You know how it is when you're playing guitars not plugged in, you can kind of feel the depth. And I'm looking at this thing, and I'm like, wait a minute, the neck on this, not just because it's 22 frets, but the neck is almost the same length as on the Catalina. I think the Catalina is 27-inch. So recently, before I shot this video, I did a measurement from the nut to actually the center of my low E, or my low B string here, and it falls at about 27 inches. You want to say 26 and a half when you adjust your saddles, but it's right between 26 and 27 inches. So you still get almost baritone-like scale, but in a 7-string. So I'm like, well, really, to me, this would fall under a baritone with nothing more but a high E. This happens to be the Jackson JS22 7. So it's a 7-string. It has these type. It's got a high gloss finish. You can see that. It has these type of pickups that I've seen people review. Well, actually, I only saw maybe 1 or 2 reviews on this particular model, because the other JS22 7 is a flat matte finish with double coils. This almost gives me the impression that these are single/P90 or like the Fender Soap Bar, because, you know, as we know, Fender bought out Jackson, so it's going to fall under the Jackson, the Fender realm. And on the Catalina, the Squire Catalina, those are like P90s, but I think Fender calls them their soap bar single coil. And that's what this gives me the impression, because it, especially when I got the switch in the middle, which I have right now, it almost is like a, it's almost like that P90 sound. Everything on this guitar is stock, and this thing is like $200, you know, so it is not high, you know, high end, high output or anything like that, but I'm like, wait a minute, you know, if I'm gonna use this for jazz and jazz fusion, I don't need anything high output. You know, and surprisingly, I'm glad this does have these type of pickups, because for what I'm gonna use it for, that's the sound I'm shooting for. And I do know on YouTube videos, a couple guys are saying even with their noise suppressor all the way on, the pickups were noisy. And yeah, in one video it was, but here it doesn't seem to be too noisy. So I know a lot of people are using it for metal and for gent and dent and dent. Oh, it is Fender, right? Fender bender. But you know, if you've ever seen people use a 7-string jazz guitar for those deep voicings, you're gonna know what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna be doing some more videos with that, and you know, as a forefront. Now, and that'll be titled like 7-chord or 7-string jazz chord voices. But this, let me put the switch back here in the middle. I mean, it sounds nice with that on the neck, but I do like in between. And basically what I'm gonna play is you know, B major 7 in a 7th fret position. Usually get that low B, E flat or D sharp minor 7 to it, E major 7. Or if you're doing like a E major 7, E major 9, like bossa nova type. Or if you're doing a B minor chord progression to A major to G major, you know, regular bar chords. A little bit of a chorus that sounds nice too. So there's going to be some pretty interesting things I'll be able to do with this. And then, you know, I've always said this with like 8 strings and 7 strings and things of that nature. What's kind of unique is you could do like violin swells, and this almost acts like part of a cello, you know. So it's not necessarily an instrument that you have to play always metal, although it always gets associated with. So I'll be doing more videos with this guitar and more like jazz voicings and things of that nature, so you can hear what you can do like with walking bass lines, because I mean it really is unique. It really is. And again, it's let me just unplug this real simple guitar. I had to, because of this being so long, you know, from the tip here to the bottom here, it really won't fit regular gig bags. So I just grabbed the inexpensive bass gig bag and just put it in, and maybe later in the future we'll see about getting a case with it. But you know, it just works out fine, and it is a little bit of an arch top, which I do like. It just works fine. I'm not changing these pickups out or anything, because it's a specific tone that I was looking for. without dropping like $900 or $1,000 on a budget-friendly 7-string jazz guitar, because now you're looking into some serious money there. And being new to 7 strings, I'm not gonna, when we bought the Tele, I was never really a Tele guy, and I'll tell you what, the little Telecaster's working great, man. So I'm not gonna go out and spend a lot of money on something that, if it's really not my thing, okay, you know. But if anyone is interested in doing styles of music, whether it's not just metal, and you want to get a 7-string, I mean, $200, this ain't too bad. And what is nice with this, the way your high B and G string come in, it's like the concept of Paul Reed Smith. You're not having these hard breaks, you know. I think it's just an inexpensive, maybe plastic nut or something, you know, for $200. It is a tilt back headstock. So, yeah, you'll be seeing some more of this, and most likely we'll be using this at our gig tomorrow for our New Year's Eve. Now, it is an earlier gig, and what we'll be doing is probably streaming live, but only it's for a 55 plus community, so we'll be doing like the dinner music, so that will stream live. But the other stuff, we won't be able to stream live because there's gonna be a lot of covers, a lot with the, you know, Deb's gonna DJ in that, and a lot of that, so we don't want to get shut down or anything. But other than that, you'll be a good chance to see this, you know, kind of in action. And as things progress with the 7-string, you'll see more videos. Real quick, if a person has a hard, see, the neck is wide, but see, playing classical guitar, that doesn't bother me. Here's one way to look at a 7-string or an 8-string, but specifically a 7-string. Just pretend when you're going to bar your chords, that top string, you don't do anything with it. And that's one way of looking at it. Everything is the same. Everything is. If you're going to use an 8-string, the 2 top strings don't bother fretting, and you're going to get your regular chord voicings. Okay? Now, with the B string being the way it is, think in terms like this. This is one way of thinking. If you got the idea of, let's say in a key of E minor, G major, E minor, and you're on the 12th fret position, right? And you know you're going to have B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, okay? You're going to have the exact same thing on the top. B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. So, if you could do this, before you buy a 7 or anything like that, think in terms like this. If you could do like this, like a regular 5th chord, it's the same up here. Because the same note here is your F sharp to C sharp. Well, you're going to have F sharp to C sharp. Because think of it, now I'm on the 7th fret, think of this. B, C, D, E, B, C, D, E, F, on the 6th fret, 7th fret is F sharp. So it's really not too difficult. So if you're used to playing certain scale patterns, you know, let's say if you're going to play in the key of C or A minor, okay, all natural notes. On the 5th, 6th, and 7th, 5th, 6th, and 8th fret on your B string is E, F, G. And then on the high E string is A, B, C. Well, on the same fret, 5th fret, on the 7th and the E string, 6th string, you got B, C, D, E, F, G. I mean, E, F, G. Yeah, E, F, G, A, B, wait a minute, hold on. Yeah, E, F, G, A, B, C. It's the exact same thing. It's one way of thinking that. But it is pretty unique, you know? look for more videos with this thing, and hope y'all have a very safe New Year. Hope 2022 is better than 2021, right? Anyways, we'll do some live streaming with this tomorrow. Until we see you tomorrow, you stay strong, safe, and true. Rock on, and God bless you. Thank you so much for your support and watching.